Good afternoon, cult members, and welcome to the Pop Culture Cult. I'm Sean.
I'm Janice.
Welcome to Cold Beer Sunday. And welcome to our trailer reaction to the Revolution of the Daleks. We've been waiting for this for ever.
A million years or 2020.
Or 2020, right, either one. They've been teasing us all kinds of stuff. We'll talk a lot about it, but I'm really interested to see what this is, since we just rewatched season 13, or series 12. And
Cord is attacking me.
Because it's a cord. So let's get into this. Here's our trailer reaction, The Revolution of the Daleks. Go.
How many people in the universe get to meet the Doctor? Let alone travel with her.
Oh.
Being with the Doctor, you don't get to choose when
Prison
it
uniform.
stops, whether you leave her or she leaves you.
The Doc would really want us
True.
to keep an eye on the planet, right?
But how's that possible?
If we don't help, the human race is going down.
You with us?
As of now, you will see new defense drones at work.
These machines
oh.
are changed the world.
We've done this before.
Yo,
Mr. Big.
remember us?
I'm Captain Jack Harkness, and I'm immortal.
Are you feeling insecure? Because
True.
you seem to need a lot of praise.
Ish.
Do I?
Not you guys.
Now, Jack!
Uh-oh.
People waiting for you.
Okay. It must be the holidays, because the Daleks are invading London.
Right, and it said New Year's Day.
Right.
So, ballsy move to do your big holiday episode without the Doctor.
Well, I mean, she's in it, and we, to be fair, don't know how much she is or isn't in it. But yes, she is not going to save London. Apparently, it's going to be Jack and the fam.
Jack and we get one of these episodes about every 2 years or every 3 years, every 2 or 3 series or whatever, where it's a companion centric episode.
Yeah.
We haven't really necessarily had one of those yet. We've had ones where they're all separated out and they're kind of doing their own story and stuff.
Couple of the fam and then somebody in the Doctor.
Yeah. And so we've had a few of those, and we haven't had a Doctor-centric one either, where it's just the Doctor. We usually get one of those too.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yep.
if you're going to do your big, a lot of our reviews last season, where each week we talked about, it looks like so-and-so isn't going to come back at the end of the season.
Yeah.
And this kind of feels like they're leaning into that with Yaz Graham and Ryan. Like one of them or two of them aren't coming back.
Right. Well, I mean,
now if it means to bring Jack back, we'll get into Jack in a minute.
We will take John. It's been we're getting ready to go on the third season
This will be the third series,
of Jodie. So, I mean, most companions don't typically last more than three seasons.
Yeah.
I mean, Bill was a season.
Yeah.
So,
and they really didn't find her. Unfortunately for Bill, they really didn't find her footing until the last couple of episodes, and then they turned her into a Cyberman. So
Spoilers.
the first Cyberman. If you're watching this trailer, you know the story. Trailer
You better.
But I think it's super ballsy to do this. Put the Doctor in prison. Now I thought that they were going to do the Doctor, and Jack using the Daleks to break out of prison. That's what I felt like they were going to do.
And I think I said this recently, maybe when we were rewatching, that potentially they could just ignore the current storyline and do a one-off, which they have absolutely done a bunch of times.
Dr. Mysterio and Father
the
Christmas.
Husbands of River Song.
Yeah.
So, but they are picking up where we left off with the Timeless Child. So,
and the Jadoon at the end of the series, at the end of the Timeless Child, and everything that happens with that story arc and the Jadoon come into the TARDIS, is there not a force field or a lock on the goddamn door? Like, more than once, people just randomly show up in the TARDIS.
Just walk in.
And she goes to prison. So I'm finding that very interesting that they're taking the risk of putting the Doctor in prison. Now, they put the Doctor in prison many of times. Like,
Yes.
it's not like this is a new concept or anything like that.
Right.
But with the uneasy footing that they had with the first run with Jodie and the fam, and it was the second series was really, really good. Like,
Yeah.
we just rewatched it.
And well received.
Well received and stuff like that. So I just think it's a big risk. Now, you can take a risk like this if you bring a fan favorite in,
Like Jack. Yeah.
like Jack,
Yeah.
and having this idea of Jack is there to save the day. Oh, by the way, he's immortal. They say it in the,
Yeah.
in the trailer. oh, by the way, I'm immortal. I have a history with the Daleks. I have a personal vendetta against the Daleks.
Yeah.
And all
Yeah.
of that kind of going on is just like, you can be ballsy when you can pull this out.
Yeah. Well, and it kind of makes me wonder, so when is the next season supposed to 2022?
Well, that's the thing. Like, they were supposed to start filming the new series, or they were filming the new season when the England shut down.
Right.
And they've only sort of come back in pieces. So I think it was supposed to be fall of 2021.
Okay.
But I think last I heard it was going to be early 2022.
They were going to do one more holiday special and
something,
then the
yeah.
start. So, potentially, this episode could wrap up kind of that whole, I mean, maybe not the master storyline, the timeless child part.
Yeah.
Because that almost feels like an underlying kind of thing. Then all of a sudden you're going to get an episode where it wraps it all up and you weren't expecting it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
just the season in general, and then they could start the next season series with all new companions or one or two, or they could really kind of start over again by wrapping it up in this one.
One of the things that I kind of thought about the other day was this particular Doctor only really kind of started showing her hand towards the end of the season about the doctorness of it all, like the weight of the galaxy and the universe on
Right,
her
and
shoulders
we're not
and stuff
all.
like that.
I'm not the great person you think I am,
Right.
and she actually got kind of mad with
She
the
got
fam, and
Yeah, and she got snippy with them
Yeah.
about it's a flat structure. That was a nice setup
Yeah.
over multiple episodes of it's
Yeah.
a flat structure, and then eventually, no, I have to be the tip of the spear and be the asshole, and
Yeah.
like so having that kind of hanging there, and having this multiple times that Yaz and Ryan both talked about, like, I don't know if we can do this forever.
Yeah.
Like, multiple times,
Yeah.
and Graham's,
Graham seems more like he doesn't really have a whole lot to stay on Earth for. He's older.
That's where I was going, yeah.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
doesn't, his wife is dead.
He survived cancer.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I'm living my best life, hanging out with a doctor.
Right, right. And
Which
if he
means
goes-
they're gonna kill him.
No. I just had a thought, though, that it's interesting. I really wasn't on board with the fam in the first series, and now as we're kind of going through it and thinking about it, I don't want to get rid of any of them.
Yeah. And we talked about this when we did the rewatch. Ryan is the heart. Graham is the voice of reason, and Yaz is the strength.
Mm-hmm.
And all three of those elements are needed for the Doctor, especially when she's 13.
Yeah,
She's,
off
she's
the
the one
rails.
that's not supposed to exist,
Yeah.
which they retcon. I hate using that word, but they kind of retconned it by making her the timeless child. Spoilers if you haven't watched the 12th season. But even with that storyline, she's something that it shouldn't exist.
Right.
And so having the three of them there to be, and like multiple times throughout that second season, they said, we're here for you. Even though the Doctor tries to run off or whatever, we're here for you. No matter what happens, we're going to be here with you. And so that this is how it works with every new Doctor, every new showrunner, every new series. They don't really have their footing that first run.
Yeah.
It's the second, third run where they
Yeah.
kind of find everybody's footing and where everybody's strengths and weaknesses are and stuff like that. You
Right.
really get it.
Yeah,
And
you definitely need to let her like not change things out quite yet. Just because this last season has been everybody kind of finding their footing.
Right.
Typically, as the Doctor stays and the companions go, they're the glue that kind of holds everything together. And she's probably not quite there yet, but then I could see her doing maybe halfway through next season if they all decide to stay and not continue. You know, they that I could see her doing a David Tennant and a couple of solo episodes at least, just her trying to figure out completely who she is,
and what it means to be the timeless child and be the first of the Time Lords and like all
and
of
what
that.
it means to have companions. Because
Yeah.
she hasn't been on her own yet. So
Yeah, she fell into the train car, and they've been there ever since.
Yeah,
And so,
yeah.
And then just one last little thing that I want to throw in there, as much as we're talking about like the past and future with the Doctor, the new Dalek design. We've tried to use the Daleks as defense mechanisms during World War Churchill did it and stuff.
Yeah.
And so, kind of rerunning that thought process in modern times, and then the Daleks go crazy, you know, and they go full
Shocking.
Dalek. Like the reintroduction of the Daleks that way. As much as we've gotten rid of the Daleks and brought them back and gotten rid of them, whatever, this is one of those shows where I'm totally okay with it. They bring back the Master like every 6 seasons, you know, and so I'm
well, and they have to, right? It's okay to introduce new bad guys, but you know, the Dalek was the original bad guy, and so you can't actually ever get rid of the Daleks. And kind of the same thing with Cybermen. I'd like to see the Weeping Angels come back. Maybe the Silence too.
The Silence would be interesting. The Silence, well, they all kind of came back with the Pandoricum, but that's a different story. Whatever. So that is our thoughts and Doctor Who thoughts. Thoughts specifically on the Revolution of the Daleks trailer and our thoughts on what could be coming and all that kind of stuff with Doctor Who.
Excited! Let's go.
We're ready. So Happy New Year's, by the way. So let us know what you thought of the trailer and our thoughts in our comments in the comments down below. Be nice. That is a requirement. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, and follow us on all social media stuff: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Links are down there. Do you? And until next time, Jack's back, bitches!